ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Sweetwater Union High School District announced its virtual back-to-school plan, but parents are nervous about the future. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt. And ABC 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle tells us about the new schedule that's flexible for students.
From August 3rd to October 2nd, this is how students will see their teachers. The Sweetwater Union High School District will determine at 3 points in the school year whether to face students back on campus, an idea that gets some parents nervous.
I'm feeling like they need to study it more.
Dr. Marie Zhivago has 2 students in the district and is a teacher in Chula Vista.
I don't want my kids to be, guinea pigs.
Her kids have asthma, making them more vulnerable to COVID-19. She hopes the district will give parents options to keep their kids safe. Thursday night, the district answered those questions.
Clerk of the board.
They will have a virtual block schedule, which means no change for many students. 3 classes a day, but only 30 to 45 minutes of FaceTime with their teacher. The rest of the class will be independent study. This provides families and teachers flexibility. The district is also working to get Launch Academy off the ground, a separate online learning option for parents like Dr. Zhivago who want to keep their kids at home. If the county meets state criteria and can reopen, the district will take a phased approach, bringing the most in-need students back on campus. The district said they've set up students with equipment to get them online and have resources available for students, teachers, and counselors. Investments Dr. Zhivago says will pay dividends.
I think they really should put the funding into distance learning because this is definitely going to happen again.
Cassie Carlisle, ABC 10 News.
San Diego parents appear to be split on whether to reopen schools this fall. According to our ABC 10 News Union Tribune poll, 33% of parents want their children to learn from home. 31% prefer a hybrid model of at home and in class. 20% don't want schools to open at all. If California schools do open classrooms, 45% of parents say they're very worried their children could catch coronavirus. We know many of you have questions about how to navigate the upcoming school year with your children at home. Tomorrow we'll be joined by Reyes Quezada from USD to field your questions, from early childhood to bilingual education. And you can join us at 9:30 a.m. for the conversation on our ABC 10 News Facebook page, or send questions to tips@10news.com. Now to the latest in the fight against the coronavirus. Here are the newest numbers for San Diego County. 501 new cases reported today, bringing the total to 25,608. 7 new deaths were reported, bringing that total to 512. And more people across the country are testing positive for COVID-19. Some may be wondering, how do you safely live in the very same house with someone who has the virus? ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala spoke with an infectious disease specialist who explains what the best practices are for keeping your loved ones safe.
This month has been a rough month.
Many doctors are seeing a surge in positive COVID-19 cases across San Diego County, but say most people don't require hospitalization and can isolate at home.
We just do video visits with patients and talk to them about their symptoms.
Dr. Michelle Ritter is an infectious disease specialist at UCSD Health and the medical director of the COVID-19 clinic. She says many of her patients live with other people.
There are times you have 3 or 4 generations of a family living in a house together.
If someone in your household has COVID-19, the CDC recommends they stay in a separate room, use a separate bathroom if possible, avoid contact with other members of the household and pets, don't share personal household items, and wear a cloth face covering when around others.
An absolute ideal situation is your own room, your own bathroom.
Dr. Ritter says isolation is key, but if you do have to use a shared space like a bathroom, it's important to disinfect after every single use.
A Clorox wipe or a washcloth with some Clorox bleach on it. Wipe down the surfaces that you've used and make sure to wash your hands.
She says wash all dishes and utensils used by someone with COVID-19 in hot water or run them through a dishwasher.
In terms of laundering clothing, it's probably fine to launder them together if you're using high temperatures to wash your clothes.
Another challenge is parents who test positive and have mild symptoms but still have to take care of their young kids.
I find that most parents do well wearing the mask. You can still be around your kids.
Dr. Ritter says many of her patients have been able to keep the virus from spreading to their loved ones at home by following some simple steps.
Wearing masks, washing hands, cleaning frequently touched surfaces is the best thing you can do.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
And breaking news now, the Chinese government has ordered the U.S. to close its consulate in the western city of Chengdu. This follows the U.S. closure of the Chinese consulate in Houston, Texas. The U.S. alleges that Chinese agents were trying to steal data from facilities in Texas, including the Texas A&M Medical Center. The U.S. has had an embassy in Beijing and consulates in 5 other mainland cities. A dramatic ending to a day-long search for a stolen car taken from a Claremont dealership this morning. It all ended tonight in Chula Vista after the driver crashed into 2 cars in the 400 block of Center Street. One woman that we spoke to said the only reason the cars were parked on the street was because roofers were working on apartments and they needed the spaces.
When I told her, I said, you better check on your car because I know that we parked our cars out here and then it's a white car. And sure enough, when she got out of here, she found out it's her car that's dead.
The driver and his passenger ran after hitting those cars. The driver was spotted crawling underneath a home on 5th Avenue. Police used pepper balls to get him out. He was arrested, taken to the hospital with injuries. As the U.S. passes 4 million confirmed coronavirus cases, President Trump cancels the Florida portion of the Republican National Convention. And tonight, the CDC warns the country's death toll from the virus could reach 175,000 in 3 weeks. The strain on hospitals across the country continues to grow, and many families are facing incredible loss. One man in Tennessee lost his wife to COVID-19 and is pleading with people to take it seriously.
And I miss her so bad every day, every minute. It really, when it hits home, it really hurts. You realize what's going on.
And we are sorry for that family. Tonight, more school districts around the country say they will start the new year with distance learning. Meantime, negotiations over pandemic relief continue on Capitol Hill. The CARES Act runs out at the end of the month, and along with it, an extra $600 a week in unemployment. Senate Republicans have killed the payroll tax cut the White House was pushing for. Democrats are asking for funding for testing and tracing.
And what we have seen so far falls very short of the challenge that we face in order to defeat the virus and in order to open our schools and to open our economy.
As the White House and Congress continue to negotiate the new bill today, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says he doesn't rule out the possibility of another stimulus package. A San Diego County Sheriff's deputy was arrested facing sex charges involving minors. We believe there are at least 3 victims, and ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer De La Cruz looks into the investigation that led to the deputy's arrest.
Chula Vista Police and the San Diego Sheriff's Department teaming up, investigating alarming allegations against a law enforcement officer. Sheriff's Deputy Jalen Fleer charged with 15 felony sex crimes against children after a months-long investigation. Chula Vista Police say it started April 9th of this year when they received 2 anonymous tips. From there, they determined there were at least 3 victims. The youngest is under the age of 14. On July 22nd, 27-year-old Fleer was arrested and booked into jail. He's facing several charges, including lewd and lascivious acts, one with a child under 14 and 2 charges with a child 14 or 15, pandering, oral copulation with a child under 16, luring a minor for a sex offense, and harmful material sent to seduce a minor. Fleer has been with the Sheriff's Department since June of 2015 and worked in corrections downtown. They released a statement Thursday afternoon saying Fleer was immediately placed on administrative duties when the investigation started. They add he did not have contact with the public from that point forward. After his arrest Wednesday, the department began an internal investigation. Police say the crimes committed were not connected to his job in any way. Fleer is being held on no bail. His first court appearance is scheduled for July 31st. Jennifer Dela Cruz, ABC 10 News.
Police are still looking for information from the public on this case. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers.